We get busy. Another man down in my city. Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties. I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a mini. I'm an addy dropper. Cause on my mama, we get busy. Plug, pull up with the pack and I ain't even busted down. Couple minutes on my phone, I promise I'm gonna get it gone. I stay solid, I get caught, I'm fighting till they sit me down. You get caught, you singing like a nigga in the studio. Brody sold the whip for 1,000 cause we just slid in it. I really make a house call, fuck if your kids in it. Been through some shit, that's why my heart too froze. You ain't living what you rapping in a studio. You get your noodle blown, fucking with the opposition. My brother making decisions on anybody that's dissing. With the quickness, I'ma make a decision. I'm on a mission. You tripping, thinking we missing. I'm shooting up with precision. Red beam on the barrel to give myself some assistance. My brother come through like sniper, he knock you off from a distance. Big foe with no foe, I'm balling just like a piston. We get the... Damn, heard it's another man down in my city. Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties. I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a milli. I'm an addy dropper. Cause on my mama, we get busy. Another man down in my city. Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties. I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a milli. I'm an addy dropper. Cause on my mama, we get busy. Plug, pull up with the pack and I ain't even busted down. Couple minutes on my phone, I promise I'm gonna get it gone. I stay solid, I get caught, I'm fighting till they sit me down. You get caught, you singing like a nigga in the studio. Brody sold the whip for 1,000 cause we just slid in it. I really make a house call, fuck if your kids in it. Been through some shit, that's why my heart too froze. You ain't living what you rapping in a studio. You get your noodle blown, fucking with the opposition. My brother making decisions on anybody that's dissing. With the quickness, I'ma make a decision. I'm on a mission. You tripping, thinking we missing. I'm shooting up with precision. Red beam on the barrel to give myself some assistance. My brother come through like sniper, he knock you off from a distance. Big foe with no foe, I'm balling just like a piston. We get the damn. Heard it's another man down in my.
This is the El Nino podcast. I'm Eladio Nino, and this is Real Everyday People. So as always, thank you. Much love to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Prayers to everybody's, families. I'm on Facebook and I one after another, just seeing people pass away, people from our communities for multiple different reasons. It's sad. It's unfortunate. I know a lot of people in our community need some healing. So, I'm sending some love, sending a big hug out to your families for healing. And, that's one of the reasons I hold community, healing circles is because, a lot of us got so much baggage that we carry every day, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of inherited trauma that a lot of us carry, from our, families and parents and grandparents and things like that. So, if you guys, want to start your healing process, man, definitely reach out so that we can start that, because I'll tell you what, it's life-changing, Today we got a special guest, man, multi-talented. I can't even tell you all the things that she does, but I'm so excited to have her here. She's a star. And I welcome Camilla Cantu.
What's up, y'all? Should I look at you or look at the camera? I should have asked that before.
We're going to go both ways, you know what I'm saying?
All right, what's up, y'all? It's Camila out here on the Eladio podcast. When do you host those? I never knew that you did community healing circles. Like, when is that?
I do them once a month, you know, and I'll give you the information. We do them at the Del Rey Center. So the city let the DHDC utilize the space. So we've been utilizing it for we have a community clothes closet for those who are in need, and then we hold our community healing circles there as well.
That's dope. Is it like faith based?
No, it's community based. You know what I'm saying?
That's hella cool.
Yup, definitely. I've been working at the Detroit Hispanic Development Corporation for 5 years now.
Fire.
And, I've been able to...
Shout out DHCC.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they have contributed to the well-being and enhance the quality of life for so many people in our community. You know what I'm saying? I have grown so much and have been able to, do so much, to pour into my community and even get my own self together,
I love how much they do for live artists. Like, I love how much they hire, like, local talent and artists and performers. Like, I can't tell you how many times the DHCC check, like, that was groceries or, that was because they hire me a lot. So I'm just kind of like, I really do like the fact that they're always hiring like local, always hiring live artists.
Kill it,
really
man.
Dope.
Shout out to Fantasma Marcus. Shout out to
Isabella.
Urban Graphics. Shout out Anita, the whole team, man.
Baby Bell.
Man, they be out there killing it. And that's what that was the whole concept of having the Fantasma Market, was to display local talent, also to support small businesses, you know what I'm saying? From food to arts and crafts to,
Their fashion show is sweet as fuck.
Oh
too.
man, them things slap.
Sweet, yeah.
For
That
real.
fashion show is sweet.
Yeah, for real. That's always a huge event when they do them fashion
Oh,
shows
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and I mean they've given me the space to be able to have the El Nino podcast summer bashes, my El Nino podcast reunions, and I mean they don't take no shortcuts. We got stages, speakers.
I'm
like,
so excited I can
you
finally
know.
go to the reunion. I have a
That's
reason to. Oh my god, I'm gonna turn up because I saw your last reunion. I was just like, that looks like fun,
Hell yeah,
especially with
that's
a little dunk
dope.
tank.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah.
And it really feels good to be able to have a safe space, you know what I'm saying? Something
Yeah.
where people of all generations, you know what I'm saying, can come and just have a good time and exist in the same place where nobody's judging nobody. Everybody's just there to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love the diversity, you know what I'm saying? And then just the networking.
Yep.
And, it's just, for me, I just feel like, it's a contribution to the community to be able to bring everybody together like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And regularly and consistently too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And everybody displaying talent, whether you're cooking food, whether you're making arts and crafts, whether you're painting, whether you're performing. Shout out to the Motor City Street Dance Academy. They come in, they do their thing. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like, it just all contributes to our culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A Southwest culture, an urban culture.
Yep.
A
It's-
Detroit culture.
Yeah, for real. And it's so niche because there's so many things that we could talk about, like just in reference,
Mm-hmm.
and just us, and this is our first time, sitting down and talking, right?
Yeah,
but
yup.
in us, we can reference so many mutual people. Like you said, Motor City Street Dance. And I'm like, oh, MCSDA,
Mm-hmm.
I was there this morning, like all these people and connections are how before we started. And you're just like, oh, you're so-and-so's cousin. Like, it's such Southwest niche to be able to have those collective, I guess, families and events
Yep.
and stuff that we know what we're referencing. Like, like if you say Western, like immediately everybody knows what Western is, like they're not going to be like, Western what? Like
Yeah,
everybody just
definitely.
knows like Western, like there's stuff in Southwest that's so like, I love it. Like just the fact that we're referencing the same people and everything is really dope.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so how much more dope can it be to bring all of that together? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Multiple generations of original people from Southwest Detroit, you know what I'm saying, and coming and bringing their gifts to the table, and displaying it for one another. And I see so much talent in the neighborhood. I'm just like, I can't believe that everybody's not a millionaire. Everybody's
Yeah.
not successful because everybody is just that good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's also though like it's a different type of wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think about this a lot too. Like, I think that there's enough talented artists and people in Detroit and even in like Southwest that it's like people should, like, at least by like my standards of music, like what it sounds like and what makes it in the music industry today, people should be like millionaires, like high, but it's just like at the end of the day, like what I've noticed a lot in Detroit artists is that's not always the goal. Just like the creation itself. And I think that's also like that's wealthy in its own ways, to always create and to be, putting yourself out there, putting your music out there, performing for the city and not like having that being, like your standard of success. So it's just like, I don't know. It's really like some people that come to mind too, like that are super humble about their craft are like, Suppi, Damasio, like really, really, really dope lyricists, right?
Yeah.
Like, and
Damasio's been on here.
you know what I'm saying? Like in my head, like already industry level, like artists, right?
Absolutely, for
But
sure.
has wealth in different ways in like community and, like family and artistry and accepting multifacetedness, like being a painter and an artist, are, I really admire people that do that in general. Like people who are exploring their multifacetedness and like allowing themselves to go outside of what they already do and be like, well, yeah, I know I've been like,
That's who you are.
yeah. I know
You
I've
are
been,
an
I've
explorer. You're
been
like
singing
Dora
my whole
the
life.
Explorer.
I'm
You
dead.
hear me?
Not Dora.
I swear, man, ever since I talked to you, man, I've been learning every day and more about more things that you do. And I'm like, damn, she does this, she does that, she does this. I'm like, dang.
Busybody.
That's dope, though,
Yeah.
because you covering all angles.
Yeah.
You are multi-talented.
Because we're all multifaceted, right? And it's just like with the things that I do, it's where would I be if I let it stay at one thing? you know, if I let myself think or believe like, you know, I'm really good in this one thing, so maybe I should just kind of like rock this out, you know, forever. And maybe I will. But if I were to keep doing that and stay in this like limited, I guess, mindset of like my creativity only extends to this, like this is as far as I go, and then I'm like, cut off, you know, like no more talent, like that's your supply, like you only got it for this. Like I feel like true creativity is realizing that it's all connected, you know, like there's interconnectedness between all of the things, you know, like for me, you know, building this relationship with like music my whole life, and then, you know, coming into a space, like I love to dance, like you saw me, like, you know, I love salsa, I like love merengue, like love bachata, all those things, and then love to like draw and paint. I don't want to stop you. You going to say something?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just, you know how you talked about everything intertwining. When you go to a local event, a festival, even at the DHDC, music, the vibe, the visuals, the hearing, the verbal,
totally,
everything is intertwined. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From, you know, just the whole energy of the people, the dancing, the singing, the music, you know, just the liveliness.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it all coincides, and it all is to entertain the eyes. We're a very colorful culture. Everything is bright. Everything's colorful. So we're appealing to the eyes. You know what I'm saying? The music that we hear, whether you know how to dance or not, it makes you want to dance.
Right. It makes you wish you knew. Like,
and
you
then
know,
it makes you want to try some Latino food. And, what's that drink? And let me try that dessert over there. And it just, everything is intertwined. It is, you know, it all operates as one.
What they do really well is energy curation. Like, to me, that's also like an aspect of just live events in general. It's like you're literally curating the energy. If you're trying to throw people, like as a curator, into a room with like nothing but, you know, like a couple of speakers, you know, like what are you doing, you know, like, but DHC, like they do such a great job at, you know, like bringing local vendors that have been doing like the culture of the food that they're trying to throw the event for years. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something, like shout out Bunny too, because every time there's a DHGC event, he's giving me free food. Yeah, and he's the shit for that. Man. Yeah, he's a
good brother, man.
Speaking of multifacetedness, like roofer, chef, like
he be doing this thing, man. Shout out to that brother.
Hell yeah. But it's just like they do such a good job at this idea of like live events being a form of like energy curation. And we're going to have vendors that, you know, also respect or are related to either the local economy or the culture that we're trying to show. And we're going to have performers, you know, that are local, and maybe like dancers. Like they do such a good job. And that to me is just like an extension of what it's like, because people are in it and are like creative themselves, you know. It's just like creativity just comes out in so many different forms. It's not always dancing and singing, and you know. And
so for you being the artist that you are, and I want you to tell everybody what you do, but me just knowing what I know about you, you sing music that can get you dancing, you sing music that can get you thinking,
right? You
sing music that can make you emotional, make you sad, make you happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to adjust and readjust constantly. Right. You know what I'm saying, to be able to perform, because it's not like you're just going through the motions. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an actual process. Yeah, it's
energy curation. You know? Like it literally boils down. Like I like that you brought that up though, because my music does have different moods. Like
I don't know if people think that far, especially when you sing multi genres of music.
Right. You know? I think also it comes from, I feel like mariachi has influenced a lot of that, to be honest, because we were literally just listening to it, you know, like before. Like it's such an emotional genre. Like
yes, for sure.
But the thing that I love about mariachi, and what I just love about anything, is like it embraces the multifacetedness of just human emotion, right? So it's like you have mariachi songs that are just like super happy and like super like I love my city, you know. I love Mexico. Like you have songs that are just like that, you know, that are just like upbeat and son and happy and everybody dance and folklorico. But then I think of songs too like La Llorona, you know, and like stuff that's like historical folktale, but is also like rooted in like a woman suffering, you know, like it's, and then I think about the dancers that dance that, you know, and how it's so much more slow, and candles on their, in their head, at their heads.
Oh yes.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes they do, the flamenco dancers
yeah,
will do candles on their heads. Like there's so, like in mariachi itself, there's so much room for just like those moments and vibes, which has definitely bled into my artistry. Because for me, it's like allowed my writing and allowed my playing and my singing to go in ways that like I wouldn't try to put that in a box ever. You know, like if like for me, is like when I'm creating music specifically, is like whatever I need to get out, whatever is in me that just like is building and needs to just be released, like I will release that, you know, and like I won't judge it, and I won't like, you know, like I won't force it to be one thing or another. Like I'll just let it be.
Even singing sad music is the form of releasing sadness.
Oh yeah, dude, rancheras. Oh my god, like
I just get emotional. I just my body, it like immediately I just get, like they say, que se me caliente la sangre de volada.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to do gritos.
Right.
You know, like it just wakes up that warrior in me where I'm just ready to do gritos where they can hear me all the way in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Like I love it.
Do grito right now. So grito for
man.
grito. Damn, that was good as fuck.
You give me some tequila, it get a lot better and a lot louder. You hear me?
Because every shot, it gets a little more like crisp and longer, like just taking shots.
Yeah, my mom though, she's a beast at it. She actually won the grito contest.
Hey, this is up. Okay, this is up. Damn. I wonder what the scoring criteria is for the grito contest. Like,
I know there was 3 of us in it. Me, my mom, and this other dude, man. And my mom, she took the prize. So
did she hold it out really long? Like super long? She held it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, because
I always comes from that panza.
I always had a feeling. I was just like, I feel like they probably listened to who can like hold it out the longest, and then they're like, yep, that person right there, they know how to do a grito.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what's up. You should have came to the DIA. Me and my mariachi band. We had an event at the Concert of Colors a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I did a grito. Like we all did gritos together.
Dang,
yeah, with the crowd and everything. I had a couple people from stage come up, and I was like, "Who knows how to do a grito?" You know, and some would say that I'm, you know, creative with my stage time. You know, creative. I take creative liberties. Some would say. I say I'm engaging with the crowd. So I literally like called people up. I'm like, yeah, you do a grito. You do a grito. We started Volver after they did a grito.
Volver, volver.
I had the whole crowd. I had all of them new white Detroiters in the crowd like, yes!
Yeah, hell yeah.
Mariachi. No, but for real, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to like see like everybody throwing a grito, you know, like like Mexicans and non-Mexicans alike. Everybody's just like, you know, like going at it in the crowd. It was a dope sight at the DIA.
It's a form of releasing too. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, whether you're doing a grito because you're sad or doing a grito because you're happy, you are releasing. You know what I'm saying? Right. Whatever's weighing you
It's literally
down.
A cry. For those that don't know the direct translation, grito is kind of like shout/cry.
Yeah, like a war cry.
Yeah, I was literally thinking war cry in my head.
Yeah,
telepathy.
It's a war cry,
we're on the same.
Yeah.
Same wavelength. In the same song.
So, tell us a little bit about you, where you grew up at. You know what I'm saying? You have siblings. Maybe a little bit about your parents.
Ooh. Okay. So.
That's plenty, huh? That's
right. I was like, God, take that shot now. No, I'm just kidding. So I was telling you, I grew up on McGraw in Livernois.
Okay.
Right by Priest Elementary. If you ever been to Priest.
Yeah.
Went to Priest first few years. Ended up leaving Priest, going to Harms, leaving Harms, going to AOA. So Academy of the Americas. I love Academy of the Americas. Like honestly, they're probably one of my favorite Southwest middle school, elementary schools. They have a high school now. I didn't go there for high school.
What was so different about
Academy
AOA?
of the Americas? Well, I think I fell in love with the school because that's where honestly I fell in love with music, you know, and it's because I had teachers that gave a fuck, you know. I had teachers, you know, that were my first music teacher, Mr. Hill. I had come to him in like I think I was in like 3rd grade. My brother, I have an older brother. I have 7 siblings total.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, I got a lot of
you guys
siblings.
got a soccer team.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all get busy.
Yeah. Well, I'm also, my parents are divorced. They split when I was 3. So
Okay.
I grew up with a mom here in Detroit.
Did you have like stepmom, stepdad?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
was
I
it-
literally
okay.
had. You know, it's so funny. We're gonna get into the tea today. The most hilarious, funny shit you'll ever hear. My stepmom and my stepdad were engaged.
Get the fuck out of here. Hell no. That's some Jerry Springer shit right there.
No, I swear.
Hell
If they watch this
Two couples
podcast,
just swapped out
so-
partners, pretty much. You know what
I'll
I'm
keep your
saying?
name secret. But no, it's funny. My step parents were engaged at one time.
Were they swingers?
No. My mom was from Southwest Detroit. You think she would go for that
I don't
shit?
know, man. I don't know. They was freaky back then.
I know. That might be real. That's why I got 7 siblings, bro.
Exactly.
Probably.
Shit. My mom came from 9 too. I said, boy, they wasn't playing. They was freakazoids.
No, for real. I think my dad was like 13 or something, like 13 siblings, something crazy like that. Like, y'all needed birth control. Y'all needed birth control.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
But-
But our neighborhood is built on families that were very big, you know.
You gotta watch out someone's not your cousin. Like,
Yeah,
y'all gotta
no,
go back
for
in the
sure.
lines, in the
Mhm.
bloodlines.
Yup.
Check the Mexican families. Where are you from?
Yeah,
What
definitely.
part are you from again?
Yeah.
Like, make sure you know there's no intersection here in Southwest. But
Yeah, for sure.
back to the story. So, they divorced when I was 3. My stepmom ended up finding my dad. My stepdad ended up finding my mom. And so I was in 3rd, 4th grade. We were all attending Academy of the Americas. And mind you, so my parents spoke mostly kind of like English the first 3 years of my life. Like my dad's like Tejano, my mom's first generation Mexican. But for some reason, they mostly spoke English, like in the house. Like, I don't fucking know why. Like, I have words for that. But they spoke English the first 3 years. But when she remarried and found my stepdad, he only spoke Spanish, like puro rancho, like San Ignacio rancho Spanish. And I was
That's
just
right.
like meeting him, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
you know? But it took some years like of just adjusting, because I went from like an all English house to a all Spanish house, like that. No grace period, no like, and of course my grandparents, you know, my grandma specifically, she was my mom's mom, most involved in my life. Like, that woman raised me, right?
Okay.
So my grandma definitely was like my abuela, you know, the one that held it down, like, you know, like raised
For
all the
sure.
grandchildren, helped my mom out a lot, because my mom, you know, she had 5 kids, was working full time all the time.
Woman warrior.
Right. No, for real.
Yeah,
Like,
for
she was
sure.
working at 36 District Court. Like, she was working hard.
Damn.
Right. So my mom was just like always working when we were growing up. And she didn't think I could speak Spanish for years, because she was like, I never taught it to her. Like, you know, she didn't think any of us spoke Spanish. And then one day we're just kind of in the car. My stepdad's talking to my mom. Mom's talking to my stepdad. And they're talking in Spanish, and I'm just listening. I think I'm like maybe like 6 or 7 at this point. And my mom was like, don't say that, she's gonna hear. Or no, my stepdad was like, don't say that, she's gonna hear. And my mom was just like, she can't understand what I'm saying. And I'm just like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I can. And then they turned around like, when did you learn Spanish? You know, because but for me it's
You
just
said they're talking shit.
right. Like, I'm over here understanding every word. No, I don't even remember what they were talking about. I just remember that fundamental day being like, oh shit, now they know that I know what they're saying, so my cover's blown. You know, like they know. So
You
for
know,
me,
back in the days when I was growing up, like they, like I used to not speak English. You know, when I was in elementary school, and they told my mother that she needed to speak only English to me in the house because I couldn't read and I couldn't spell in English. So, you know, back in them days, they were kind of like telling your parents, like, you have to speak English to them at home.
and that's
You know
what it
I'm
was for a lot of
saying?
people. That's why there's such a good, like, there's a giant part of our population whose parents refused to speak Spanish to them because they thought it would better assimilate them, like, to the United States.
Yes.
And that's why
Yeah.
you end up meeting a bunch of, like, you know, like for me, like, I noticed like a lot of Tejanos are like that. Like, you know, their parents you know, like didn't think, you know, didn't want their kids to know Spanish, so they just never taught them. So they just always grew up speaking English.
I went to San Antonio, and they're like real big on Tejanos. Like, call me a Tejano. I'm not Mexican.
Yeah,
I'm Tejano,
it's so
you know
weird. I'm like,
but they'll have the Mexican flags and everything. But
the Mexican
like,
keychain.
Yeah, and
I'm not
like,
Mexican,
yeah,
bro.
I'm Tejano. Yeah, I'm like,
okay.
You know, it's you know,
learn your history, that because Texas was Mexico, right? And it's just like in some ways I'd say it still is, right? It's just like who got to occupy the land and who got to like call it theirs, you know, like but it is really kind of goofy, you know, because some of my not my personal family, but I know Tejanos that are like that, very like, you know, like I'm not Mexican, I'm Texan. It is but it's because I think that like that culture and that pride for the culture got lost when their parents were trying to assimilate. Because again, it was just like, we need to be as close to whiteness as we can for us to get opportunities, for us to get jobs, for us to get good school, for us to get like housing. For
me to be successful in school, I had to learn English.
Like imagine like, you know, growing up not being, or coming to the States not being able to get anything because, you know, like your accent or like racism or just like not knowing the language. So you would want to ingrain it into your child, like you're not going to know anything about this, you just need to be able to have all the opportunities that you can, so I'm going to force you to speak only English, you know, or vice versa.
And then I had forgot my Spanish,
so
I had to learn. I learned so much English, I forgot Spanish, and I had to go learn back, and I learned the chopped and screwed version of Spanish.
Hey, that's what I got. That works.
Like, hey,
that works.
You know, I communicate.
It gets you by. Let me tell you.
Sometimes I got to go bilingual on your ass, you know, and switch it up. But
I feel like that's a lot of like second, third generation Mexicans. Like, cause I'm second generation Mexican, and that's pretty much me. Like my verbs, they might be a little fucked up.
Like my stepdad, he's Cuban, so when I was learning Spanish again, people were looking at me like, "Are you Cubano?" And I'm like, "No,but I learned a lot of my
the dialects.
Spanish." You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when I speak it, they're like, "Damn, you sound
it's like
Cuban."
that too, and it's so interesting that it's like that, especially for like kids, like they grow up sounding or being like who they were raised around.
Yep.
So on a similar note, like it's just like so interesting to me how many like Latinos have different stories and experiences, like with the language, with the culture, like learning it, unlearning it, learning it again. So for me, it was just like I didn't like know it until like mariachi started coming around. Like I understood it, but like it was just kind of like, oh yeah, I understand it and I speak it, but I was too shy to speak it a lot because there's that like that shame, right, of just like
you don't know it well.
Yeah, because you don't know it well, and I like there's a lot of people like no sabo kids. I feel y'all like. I feel it, bro. Like, I feel it. Like, it really gets you, like, the shame of just, like, being disconnected from the culture. Like, being, like, it's a little prideful, you know, like, to just be, like, and especially when you see all of your friends, like, speaking it, like, people that you know, like, fluent. Like,
but, like, when I was in prison, you know, they do a lot of studying in there in culture. And, you know, a lot of brothers, like, I don't know if it was just the way they justified not speaking Spanish, but they were like, brother, don't you know that Spanish was your slave language? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They was like, you know, our people speak Nahuatl. You know?
Bro, people do use that argument a lot. And,
you know, and they're
I
like,
see that.
You know, that was a slave language to us, you know, even though, I mean, you know, the Spaniards, you know, they conquered a lot of this world.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of parts of this world that speak Spanish,
Right,
you know, from Haiti to the Philippines to Mexico to Puerto Rico to everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know, it was a huge impact, you know, that they had on the world.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like English, like, come on now.
Yeah,
English.
like we're not from England, but we speak
English. Yeah,
you know,
like... But I feel like sometimes like that argument is used as a way to like, I feel like sometimes it's like there's so much shame in not knowing the language that it becomes almost like a hatred of self, and people will be like, oh well, I'm not gonna learn Spanish because like that, you know, was a colonizer's language anyways. And it's just like, yes, totally agree, however, you still cannot communicate with your grandmother. Like at the end of the day, like this is the language, this is the tongue that people in my family choose to speak, that don't speak anything else. Like I would rather like attempt to learn to communicate with them, to have dialogue like this, you know, than live my whole life just like in refusal. Like, and for me, it's just like, again, like I didn't grow up. Like I used to be in AOA, like, so AOA, going back to like why they're such a great school, like they teach bilingually. Like from kindergarten, when you go into third, you learn Spanish, taught in Spanish, books are in Spanish, like teachers speak to you in Spanish, like kids are speaking to each other in Spanish. And then like I think fourth or fifth on, years might have changed, they switched to English. So it's just like they really immerse the kids in both, and they like do assessments, and they see like where the child is. Are they mostly English? Are they mostly Spanish speaking? And I just think that like when I got to AOA, there was such a shame for me to, like, I would be in Spanish class, like sweating terribly, like, oh God, I hope that Mrs. Ortiz doesn't call me right now, like just so scared. Like, shout out Mrs. Ortiz, but if you know, but like I would be so scared, like ready to vomit, because I'm just like, God, please don't make me speak Spanish in front of all of these people that like natively speak it, like please, because it's gonna sound so bad. There was just so much shame, so much embarrassment that came with just like, dang, like I don't know how to, even if it wasn't my fault, even if my parents didn't show it to me, like even if it wasn't, I didn't have grandparents around to teach me, there was still a lot of like embarrassment and just shame of not knowing it.
Absolutely.
So like third grade comes, I start playing music because Mr. Hill, this music teacher, was just kind of like seeing me stalk around the music classroom, like just coming in, like looking around, bothering people, bothering my brother who was there. And he was just kind of like, do you want to play? And I'm looking at him and I'm like, yeah, like sign me up. He's like, okay, well, you got to start next year. And
what's the first thing you wanted to play?
Drums.
The drums.
It was the drums. Man,
yeah.
like
I took drum class. I
loved it. Like it was so crazy to me because, in that conversation with him at AOA, he's just kind of like, well, there's the flute and the clarinet and I'm just like looking around the room and I see like the double bass, like the big marching band double bass, and I see like the snare drum, and I'm just like, and also my brother played drums, so I was just kind of like, I want to do that. So I did that third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth.
Damn.
So I started young, really like fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. 5 years. That's 5 years of music.
Were you ever in a marching band or anything?
Yeah, so I was in the AOA marching band. Like we used to go around, like we couldn't do much because we were so underfunded. It was ridiculous. Like we didn't go anywhere. Trust me.
For real.
We literally just did like the Christmas carols and the events, all the little school stuff. Like we did that, and then sometimes around. Was it count day? I don't remember what day it is that they uselessly have all the students come so they can get government money. It's count day, isn't it? And they'll be like, come on Wednesday, we'll give you ice cream and we'll all go outside and play and it will be amazing. And we don't care about you showing up the rest of the other days, just today. That's literally count day to me.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, that's what it was about.
We got sprinkles.
All kinds of incentives and shit to get you there. They needed everybody.
Snow cone machines. I remember a snow cone machine one year for sure. So on count day, like we used to do a little marching band, like, just walk around the school. And I remember I used to play the big drum. I'd just be boom, boom. And I'm a tiny body.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would literally be this little itty tiny bitty little thing, just like boom, going at it on the drums or going at it. So when I got to 8th grade, I got approached to join mariachi. And that was when my relationship with Spanish, like, truly started. Because, again, going back to, like, it's such a beautifully written genre. And I started off hating it, because it's just like, I'm like, I don't want to play that drunk music, like, I don't want to be associated with that stuff that my parents drink, like weird bottles of liquor and it tastes weird. And like, I don't even know. And I don't know why I'm always there till 2 a.m, but I know this is the music that they play and I don't want no part of it. Like, I don't want to do it. But I ended up learning a lot of like misa music, so a lot of church Spanish music, and oh my God, it just, I feel like that was like my birth for like, like connecting emotions, like music and the way and the things that they were writing, like El Ángel, like, and there's a church song called El Ángel that's so pretty, and it's all about the angel that came to like tell Mary she was gonna have a child. It's about it's literally about the angel, bro. Wow. Like imagine a song written about an angel. And that was like mariachi music, like,
yeah, for sure.
So that was one of the first songs like I learned how to play and sing, and that was a pivotal moment for me with like Spanish, because singing a language you don't know, you take your time, right? So it's like I'm holding notes, I'm focusing on consonants. Like it's a lot less pressure than like trying to talk super 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 fast and respond to people. But when learning Spanish, like I was just taking my time and like singing and feeling, you know. And then that was when I started to have a turnaround and really embraced like, okay, like my Spanish may not be perfect, but like it's a work in progress, right? And it's something I can try.
Izzy didn't speak not a word of Spanish.
Who is Izzy?
Belle.
Oh,
DHDC,
okay.
Baby Belle. She did not speak not a word of Spanish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she started singing music in Spanish, and I was
and
like,
it clicks.
No, for real. And it was like came very natural for she started singing a lot of the Selena songs. Like she could sing the whole album.
Yep.
And I was just like, damn, you don't even speak Spanish, but you can sing like every song in Spanish.
Because you take your time. Like you literally take your time. Like when you're singing in Spanish, like, and I also think that's why it's honestly one of the most beautiful languages to have music in, like to have music written in. Like right now I've been on a like I don't know what you would call it, Brian, maybe you know, like that genre of slow corrido, like Danny Lux, Ivan Cornejo, like is that Pelico? Pelico? Is that what the genre is called? I love that shit. Like, oh my god, like just the voice and just the guitar, like just singing and writing.
Like acoustic music?
Yeah, it's literally it's acoustic music, like Spanish acoustic music. It's what I've been loving right now. And it's just like because the way that you can write stuff in Spanish, like is just not the same. Like I have me and Tommy just dropped this song Besos Ardientes, and I was trying to be in my Spanish poetry bag. Like I was just like, I'm gonna make this shit Neruda, like Pablo Neruda. Like, I'm gonna make this shit so poetic. And I just realized kind of like there's stuff that you can say in Spanish that will just never translate the same way. Like, you know, like there's this phrase like "Quién sabe quién será." You know, like the way it sounds, you know, the way like "Quién sabe quién será," like who knows, you know, who will be like that. It doesn't translate the same. It just doesn't, you know, like stuff that's just so beautifully written in Spanish that like Selena songs, like, mariachi music, like
these are songs that have to be sang with passion. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's what created it.
Right,
you know, was emotion and passion.
Yep.
You know, a lot of times when you see Al Green and Marvin Gaye sing Motown music, they sing from their heart, and that's the same with mariachi music.
Bro, for
you
real.
know,
and that was back, you know, when it was like one take. Like it wasn't like, okay, let's do this 100 times, you know, till we get the best sound. It was literally like people locking in for 1 week, a few weeks, singing the shit out of everything and playing like everything so well that it was just ready. It was album ready. Like, and I do kind of miss like that era of like album creation. I'd say honestly that's probably how I create more, like better in that process than I do like, okay, I made a song, now I'm gonna wait a couple weeks and I'm gonna try to finish it, and then I'm gonna wait a couple weeks and then I'm gonna do it. Like I've been in the studio this week like 5-6 hours, just like daily by daily, because I just create like that, you know, like when I'm ready to work on music, when I'm ready to create, it's just like I have to go back. It eats me until like it's like how I want it, until it's like till it's starting to form, and not even, you know, for anybody else, but because I needed it, you know, and because I want it to be that way.
I understand it because when I was in prison, I used to make cards, like greeting cards. I used to sketch mirrors, and I used to make like, you know, thinking of you holiday, whatever. I was very creative, and I made really nice cards. It was also a form of hustling for me,
right.
but it was also therapeutic for me, being creative. It was just multiple things that kept me grounded in prison.
Keeps you sane, like, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And damn, I forgot the point I was gonna make when I said it. I was gonna make a point out of it, you know what I'm saying? But
Start going back.
yeah, whatever. You know.
It's gonna come back if it's not. If it wasn't meant to be said.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I forgot what the point I was.
We were talking about being locked in, like needing, you know, that consistent like creation time.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
so that's what I was gonna say. Is that I loved making cards on my free time.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I loved expressing myself through art. You know what I'm saying? But like sometimes I would get orders for like 5 or 10 different cards, whether it's Christmas, birthdays, holidays, whatever. And now it became more of a job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like when you perform, you know, you may not feel like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
you always got to give it your best. You know, so not only are you turning off and on your emotional and mental balance, you know what I'm saying, just
all
in
the
the
time.
music,
Literally all the time.
but you know, like you said, you like to sing and do, you know, when you heart desires,
right.
but then now you're in demand, you're in high demand, you know what I'm saying? and
I feel like I'll be in high demand. My personal goal is like when I can sustain myself off of all this, and like I'm almost there. Like with teaching helps a lot, but like I'm not there yet. Like it's just, I think you just hit it on the head, like the nail on the head. It's like I do what my heart desires. You know, like if that's DJing, it's DJing. If that's like producing, like this week, like right now, it's being in the studio and just
tell them everything that you got going on. DJing, mariachi, everything, because I mean you got a long list of things that you do.
Okay, so the most recognizable is Mariachi Feminine Detroit, which is the first woman founded like mariachi here in Detroit. I've been doing that for a long time, like 16. I was 16 when we founded the group, with the exception of like a 2-year break. Like we're back in gigging now, so I do that. And like I was describing to you, like it was eras, right? Like so, like that's been an era for a long time.
And then the age group in your group as well.
Oh yeah,
you
it
know,
varies. Like
multiple generations of women. You know what I'm saying? And I loved it. I seen you guys perform at the DHDC,
moms and everything,
and I was like, oh my goodness, they are just killing it. You know what I'm saying?
It's dope. It's very cool to be in a space full of like really go-getter, ambitious women. Like those spaces are the most, I think, powerful spaces like to exist. You know, like there's no, at least for me, like what I feel in the group is like there's not any misogyny. You know, there's not any, you know, like judgment. There's like commonly understood things. You know, like I could be like, man, like literally great example. Like Saturday we had a gig. I woke up on my period. Like I woke up feeling like. Yeah. Like I woke up not feeling good and you know, in pain all day, but like you said, I just had to get ready, like perform ready to perform or not. Like I remember my friend had been like, are you gonna be ready to sing? And I was just like, it's not about being ready, I just have to be ready. Like it's not about what I want, like you know, I just have to do it. And literally like I got to the gig and I told my whole band, I was just like, yeah, I'm on my period. They were like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, like bitch, I feel you know, they understand, like, and they can move with those waves of like, also because you know, like women are different than men, you know, like, and we tend to be a lot more vocal about our emotions. And
women are warriors. I am grateful that I was born a man, a boy, you know, a man, because the things that women have to go through, man, you know, from childbirth, you know what I'm saying, what? You know, just everything that comes with being a woman, being young, even getting old, for women being older, you know what I'm saying? And you guys go through things, you know. I mean, I just, you know, I have respect for women and, you know, and what they
appreciate
have to go
that.
through.
No,
yeah,
for
for
real.
sure. No.
And I just feel like it's hard. It's harder. It's not hard to be a woman. It's hard to be a woman in a society, in a place that is trying to like squish you, right? So it's really not hard being a woman. Like being a woman is like, it's like sensual and raw and, you know, and open and also like dark, you know, it's all these things. But like if we were to just be like by ourselves, like let's go to a place where like industrialization never happened and we got like woman led like everything, like, and we're all just like eating fruit, like, you know, like if
trying
women,
to be a pilgrim.
No, for real. If women had the space to just be, I promise you, the world would not look like what it looks like right now. Yeah. And like if we would have had that, I guess like right from the beginning, like it would be totally different. So it's just like being a woman isn't hard. Being a woman in a man's made world, that shit is hard. And I'll bring up a good example of I teach, right? And it's just like,
you teach what?
I teach music production. So
Okay.
I teach like making beats and everything to schools. Like, and a lot of them are DPS schools. So like I've gone to Pershing, Ronald Brown.
I'm at Pershing all the time.
Oh, really?
I swear, yeah,
What?
I do speaking up there. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay, I'm gonna have to catch
shout
you.
out to my man Dean, man. That's
Oh yeah,
my guy.
Dean's sweet. Dean's sweet. I work with
Yeah.
Mrs. Gates. Shout out Mrs. Gates, Alicia Gates. That's their music director, and she's just
Okay.
phenomenal. She helped write a grant with my nonprofit to get the kids a beat making music production program.
That's so
They got
bad.
it. Yeah,
Small
it's
fucking
no,
world.
it's
Look at
sweet.
that
It's sweet.
shit.
I love
love
Pershing.
that.
It's what's up. I'm gonna go back and teach like in October, I think. So I'm excited to like continue building that relationship, getting to know the students, because you always find like what's so amazing to me about just like teaching is that you always find those. Of course, there's always going to be the students that are not as interested, you know, maybe might not always be engaging, but you know, you find ways to engage students. But there's always those few students that don't need it. They'll lock in. Like they have all the stuff they need, the producing equipment, the laptop, you know, the technology, the software, and you show them what to do, they'll lock in by themselves. Like I literally just kind of, I walk around and I'm just like, you know, you good?
Yeah,
like,
sure,
you know,
yeah.
like they'll tell me if they need something, but for the most part, like I love for my students to feel like they can go into their own world if they want, you know, like I'm a very kind of like in like student led classroom. That's kind of my approach, you know, like I'll show you the skill. Like I'll literally, you know, sit here and show you the skill on my laptop and then give you 40 minutes, you know, to just go and explore and do what you want. I'm not going to, you know, I don't think it's effective as a teacher, especially as a creative arts teacher specifically, to be over your shoulder, like guiding your own self exploration. Like, you know, like this is all you, bro. Like this is literally all you. Like I'm here to facilitate the process, you know, to facilitate what happens in frustration, like, you know, those emotions.
All you got to do is create the space. Create the space,
Literally.
put them around like-minded
Literally.
people, and they going to formulate.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They going to make it happen.
And it's cool because like I'm always thinking of like the ripple effect, right? And just like, you know, I got into all of this like music production and doing my own beats. Well, one, for money. Like I was explaining to
She
you, like
produces beats too.
Yeah.
This shit's crazy.
like everything
Wow.
everything I do though, like it was all out of like either I cannot afford this, like I can't afford for somebody else to do this for me, or I can't afford like
Not to do it.
the time. Yeah. Or no, it was, how do I explain it? It was
My
like
bad, I didn't mean to throw
either
you
I'm
off.
no, it's okay. It was, for me, it was like either I learned the skill set and I invest the time, or I come out money. And I learned the skill set and I come up money. That was always the
So
deal
I
with me.
feel like you got multiple bags. You got a mariachi bag. You got
Yes,
a
sir.
producer bag.
Yes,
you
sir.
got a music bag.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
DJ
so
bag.
The DJ bag.
Teaching
you know
bags
what
the
I'm
most
saying?
that one sustains me. Like the teaching bag sustains me, bro.
Yeah, that's dope though. But you know,
That's
I
what it
know
is,
that
though.
everything is purpose driven.
Yeah.
My podcast was purpose
Hell
driven.
yeah.
But in real time and in real life, this shit costs money. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You got to buy your equipment. You got to pay your engineer. You got to, you know, take care of your people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the purpose is there. I love it because it's always authentic, genuine, you know what I'm saying? And just driven by gifted purpose. But in real life, you got to make some money.
Yeah, and that's what
You got to make some money.
That's what it always boils down to for creatives, right? I feel like we always have the, like, going back to just how much local talent we have, like, at the end of the day, we got to eat. Like, you know, I would love to just, like, you know, like, make music and post my music and do a few shows and that sustain me, you know? But the reality is it doesn't for a lot of us. Like, we as artists, especially music artists, like, we spend way more money than what we get out. Like, you know, I've gotten like $40, you know, to date for all the music streams that I've ever gotten. Like, being a music artist, there really is no like fast track way to start making ridiculous amounts of money. And that's why I think there has to be purpose and passion, because you're not making money. Like, you know, like you're not going to be making what you want.
Unless you're Brian Ruiz from the Legal Aliens podcast. This guy makes a fucking video with a clown, a bozo the clown, and gets millions and millions of views. This nigga got checks and everything.
Hey, that's what's up.
I said, I was happy for him. But
Get your bag.
I'm like, is that what I got to do? I got to do some goofy shit?
But
I got to juggle apples and oranges? What the fuck do I got to do? You know what I mean?
In exact, like, relation, though, that's exactly what music artists ask themselves. They're like, do I got to do some crazy music video, or do I got to do some weird ass song for me to blow up? And 9 times out of 10, yeah, you do. And that's the ones that blow up. Like, but at the same time, again, like, we're also talking about a niche. There's a niche of music artists that you know, don't buy into the virality, that stay genuine, stay authentic to themselves, that, you know, like, maybe they're still pushing content, but it's not, you know, in the really, like, easy to digest, like, viral, you know, type. It's more authentic to them. And those music artists, you know, they're not invested in, like, they don't want short-term wealth, you know, like, they're not looking for, like, anything to feed their ego. Like, they're not looking for, you know, like, accolades. Like, and those are the ones that, to me, have the most wealth. Like, damn, like, you made yourself happy, and like again, like with the podcast, right? It's just like, you made yourself do that. Like, you made yourself happy through this thing that you created. And that's what we do as music artists. It's just like the authentic ones. Like, it's just like, we create just out of this place of, like, we needed to create this space for myself, for my band, for this moment. And then all of that just snowballs, right?
So out of all this that you're telling me, and then, you know, having your own band, lets me know that you are in a leadership position.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And leadership comes with a lot of responsibility.
Hell yeah.
You know? And you're responsible for people, you know, their well-being, you know, their happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not anymore. I have a manager.
Oh, shit. Okay,
no, so, like, MFD has a manager now. And that's another thing, is just, like, delegating is good. Imagine if you were sitting here trying to do this podcast and run sound at the same time, and run how it's looking at the exact same time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, learning when to, that's such an important part. You know, like, it's such an important part of the creative process. Like, learning what is yours to take on, and what you can leave to others to help you with, you know, like, and that's not even just creative process in general. Like, what is yours to handle? Like, what is yours to take on right now? Maybe not all of it, but some part of it right now. And what can you give away to friends, to, you know, people you love, to family? Like, and that's with music. That's with, like, you know, stuff that you're going through. Like, you know, like, what is mine to process right now? What do I have to process right now? What can I open up to about a friend that will make me feel better to process it? You know, like, sharing that weight, you know, and going back to community in times, because at the end of the day, like, we're very social, you know, like, I'm not meant to be in my room, you know, or, like, I'm not meant to be in my room just, like, playing my guitar by myself, you know, forever. You know, at some point I'm gonna be like, oh shit, you know what, like, I really want to share this, you know, with somebody, because at first I was just sharing songs with my sisters, you know. I would just be like, hey, listen to this song I made, la, 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 you know, like, and
what kind of feedback did you get from them?
She loved my music. My sisters my sister is a dancer. Shout out Nina, I love her. She's a Nina Contreras, and she's studying dance at Wayne State right now. And like, a part of me thinks for sure that, like, you know, she is choosing, like, she is mimicking what she sees in terms of, like, just going for what you want, like, 1,000%. Like, so the way I am with music, she's just like that with dance. Like, in it, like, lives, breathes, eats her craft, right? And it's just like, we always kind of grew up supporting that, you know, like, she loves her music, I love her dance, you know, like, and
but it goes together.
Yeah, it does.
You know, really, music makes you want to dance.
Facts. And I always send stuff to her. Like, I literally sent her music this week. I'm like, listen to this, you know, like, I'm always sending her my demos, like, listen to my music, let me know if you like it. Yeah, I know, you know. Well, this week has been a little sad. It's been sad stuff. He said, oh. Yeah, but she bumps to the sad stuff. Out. No, for real. I've been in this, like, this mood of just, like, not like I want to go out and party and get drunk, but, like, I want to be in my room listening to some rancheras, like.
You want to grieve?
Yeah,
Is it grieving?
Is it grieving? Maybe.
Is it grieving?
Is it grieving?
You know, that's a form of it. I mean,
This
it's
is my
okay.
mariachi music.
Because I just, when I grieve,
Yeah.
I like to grieve by myself sometimes.
I feel that. No, for real.
I listen to Vicente Fernandez, have me a fucking drink, and I grieve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you though. I'm a solo griever too. Like,
yeah, for
also,
sure.
I ugly cry, so I'm not trying. I'm not. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not trying to do all that like, in front of people. I'm at the funeral, like holding my tears.
Yeah.
So I'm just kidding. No.
My makeup, my lashes, all that shit
No,
you
for
guys
real.
gotta go through. For us, it's like whatever, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Getting ready for the podcast, I was just like, I bet you no guy that's ever been on this podcast is thinking about what to wear and how to look as hard as I am right now.
It's crazy though. Like everybody be so ambitious and excited to get on, and it's like as soon as they get under the, you know, once we start going live, they're like forget their own name and everything. Like,
It's like that. Like the lights, intimidating as hell. Like, and then the camera itself. Like I do the worst stuff. Brian, maybe you can relate. Like if I'm trying to record a cool music video, I could do it great like 10, 20 times in a row. The minute I turn on that camera,
you start sweating and shit.
I start doing the stupidest stuff. Like I was, and I'll turn it off. Like I wasn't doing any of that like 5 minutes ago. Like what is really the like nerves? Like,
I know. Like when you were like, "Hey, is this live?" I'm like, "Yes, it is. It's live."
yeah. I mean, that's also because I was just like, what time did it start officially? Like I was just like, I don't know if I've been babbling here and it's just like live or is it just like not on live
we're gonna
yet?
catch all the bloopers.
No, for real.
So, what's the future look like for you, your music, your career? You know, what is the outcome?
I'm working on an EP right
Okay.
now. So I'm working on this EP. It's still, I haven't decided on the name yet, but it's very like, I'm sorry.
What for what genre? I mean,
For me. So it's, I would say it's kind of like that. What did you say it was called, Brian? Pelico. So it's literally just kind of like my voice, acoustic guitar, and a bass. Very simple, like, and it's gonna be only a few songs, you know. But it's just been something that I've been. Some of it's old music, but some of it's new, and I don't know. It's just been coming out of me this week. Like it's just, and they all kind of curate and go together. So I've just been kind of like, all right, I'm gonna do this. But I don't know. I have a lot of plans. I want to do, because I have the DJing at Michigan Central, and I want to do a Latin night, August 10th, like Friday, August 10th, like.
Okay.
Salsa at the Michigan Central or something. So
That's dope.
yeah, I really want to curate that together. Maybe get some flyers out.
I think it's wonderful that they got that place up and going.
Yeah, it is dope.
And contributing to the community.
I just want
around
to
us.
see more Southwest people in it because at the end of the day, it is in Southwest. And usually when I go to my event, it's not, you know, like, so it's just like, I want to, so as for me, it's just kind of like, what can I do? Like I have power in a way, like I curate music here for 2 hours on a Friday. Like what can I do to try to bring my community out to make them feel like, hey, this is also our space, like this is also something we can take up.
I think a lot of them feel unwelcome in their
That's-
own home anymore.
that's what I'm
You know what I'm
saying, yeah.
saying? And you know, I think that it really does a disservice to them because it's like they feel forgotten or
Yeah.
left behind.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, a lot of people have not evolved yet. You know, I tell people, because I'm at a lot of different tables, you know, with the
Right.
work that I do community violence intervention. So I'm at a lot of tables with a lot of important people. And I tell them, like, you know, I appreciate that we have transformed the infrastructure of the environment, but we still have to work on changing the infrastructure of the people and their
people, yeah.
mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we've been living here, you know, for 100 years, living a certain way. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
It's
And
a-
now all of a sudden, you know, the environment is changing.
It's
You
a
know
lot
what
of
I'm
resentment for the city for sure. And I feel that, like, I definitely feel like I'm still 50-50 on, like, I feel them. And then I also feel like opportunity, like, cause I felt the same way, you know, with the Central Station. Like I was just kind of like, oh, now y'all care, you know, like we've been sitting with this abandoned train station for how many years?
Yeah,
and y'all
yeah.
just magically decide, you know, put your pennies together and June 7th, we're having an opening. And I'm just like, oh, oh, like, you know, like, so I feel them, because it's just like, for so long, like, we haven't been policed to the extent that we are, like, this summer. Like, for so long, like, we've been able to have block parties, and we've been able to gather in community, like, without being disrupted or without being deemed violent. For so many years, like, we've had affordable housing, you know, like, for so many years we've had, you know, like, our own coffee shops, and we've had our own restaurants, and we've had our own taco trucks and paleteros and our own small businesses. And now that there's like corporate investment, suddenly there's an interest in the quality of life, like, that we have. We've been having a great quality of life, like, y'all just haven't been able to see it, like, you know.
But for a lot of people from the community, they can't afford that quality of life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's
You
why I'm
know
saying
what
the
I'm saying?
resentment is like, yeah, I get it, because like, for again, like, we're fine, you know, without all of the investment from billionaires. Like, we as a community were doing just fine, you know. And then now, like, you know, there were like I could definitely like resonate with that resentment of like, well, now that you've taken interest, like, you're pushing us out, like, and now you want us to come to your Central Station opening, like, fuck you, like, you know, like, I'm not going to that. And yeah, I get it. And then the other half of me is like, you know, the local artist that gets paid, you know, and it's just like, I eat off this, you know, like, I'm telling you, those, like, I started DJing because I was so broke, you know, like, I was just so broke, and I worked a lot.
Like, how do you just start DJing? Like,
man,
I just started DJing. Like, how do you? I mean,
you get
I
your
DJ'd
hands
when I was younger.
You get your hands on a controller, and you have some banging playlists, and you just get out there and you work. Like, that's how it started for me. Like,
DJ EJ, he's the man. DJ
no, for real.
Whoop, my dogs.
I didn't start practicing seriously DJing until recently, and it's because like unless I was being paid to DJ, like, I wasn't really doing it, but mostly because I was busy. But also, I was just had such a strong foundation as a musician and as somebody that had liked music. You know, grew up in the same genres we were talking about, like, you know, like the Tejano music, the Mexican music, the rancheras, like the mariachi, the techno, the Motown, the
Latin,
you know, freestyle, Latin
sure.
freestyle, the like salsa, like so many different. You know, I had so many different like mediums of music that I liked, that when I just started picking up a controller and people liked what I played. And it's because I played such a variety, right? And it's just like, that's a thing that I think that like DJs get stuck sometimes, like, is in that box of like, well, this is what I play. Like that, you know, that DJ that does like quinces and weddings, and like they all got the same exact playlist, bro. Like, they all got the same 40 songs, I promise you. Like, are the guys that do Latin nights, you know, at local clubs, like, they're gonna play pepas, like, they're gonna play, like, I can count 10 songs on the back of my hand, like, some J Balvin shit, 3 Bad Bunny shits, you know, like,
yeah, for sure.
Like, DJing in some regards, especially in the Latin community, to me has gotten like in this like box, or it is in this box sometimes, but there are a lot of dope people like EJ and like Isa and like people that are like in Southwest that are also trying to get out of that bubble, that I think we all just kind of like see each other and are just kind of like, all right, we're all climbing together. Like, if we're getting out this like bubble of like what's expected to play, then like, let's all move in those ways. Even if we're not moving like together as a cohort, like, I can still respect and see that there are people and DJs like doing that thing. Like Dembow House. Like, Dembow House is like one of my favorite things to ever do, is like combine Dembow music with house music, or house with Dembow, or find songs that combine both, because it's such a unique like experience and sound, like Dembow, you know, reggaeton, but with like a house, like, you know, tempo. Like, it's so dope. Like, and those are the kind of things that I love to spin as a DJ, and that gets me booked.
And then being a DJ, you have to engage with your crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not just there. You perform as well. You're putting on a performance, you know, and entertaining, you know. So that comes with responsibility. You're responsible to make this crowd happy.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But some DJs don't see it like that, you know. Like, some are just very, and I've only been DJing for like 2.5 years, so I can't say I have all the experience in the world. I just think that I came into the scene and into the world with one very strong like music theory, like just knowing music, knowing, you know, how notes, chords, melodies work together, having very strong like rhythm foundation from years of drums, from years of mariachi, that a lot came naturally secondhand to me. But like, it's not like that for everybody. And like, I think with DJs is when you're talking about crowd engagement, like something I always have to do is like look up and make sure people are dancing. Like I'm like in my music, I'm looking up and I'm like, oh, you know what? They weren't really messing with this. Like, let me go to another genre or go down, look up. Yo, you know what? They were dancing like merengue for a couple of songs. Now they're not dancing anymore. Let me change. That's a skill that like you can't teach, you know, like because a lot of DJs will just be like, yeah, bro, like this is my set.
Just shoving the shit. Yeah,
you're gonna listen to this whether you like it or not, and like that's cool. Like in that case, like you're
there for a check.
You're more of a playlist in my opinion than a DJ.
Yeah,
like you know, like
that's right.
So there's that.
But is it that convenient and that easy to just learn how to DJ just like that? Just because back then we learned on turntables and you had to have some skills. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to have an ear. You had to have, you know what I'm saying?
And like anybody can be a DJ playlist or playlist DJ. That anybody can do that. Like anybody can easily like just play. It's easy. Yes, you can make money doing that. But like, you know, I was really inspired when I went to Movement because I've been in this kind of like this space as a DJ where it's just like I don't want to play other people's music forever. Like, you know, at some point I want to have my own mixes. I want to have my own sound.
Do you throw some of your music in there?
I have. So that's where I'm going. Okay. So it's just like my next era as a DJ. Like I've honestly been taking a step back from a lot of like local DJ gigs, except for Michigan Central because they pay me a good amount of money. But it's because like for this next era of DJing, like I want to be like on my own wave, like my own sound. Like I was inspired at Movement because that's what it is. It was my first time ever going to Movement, and like I was just in such awe at like the original music, you know. And I was just kind of like, yeah, like, you know, like it's cool to be in these little clubs like in Southwest. It's cool to like, you know, like do stuff locally. But for me, like I got those like blinders when I went to Movement because I was just like, yeah, this is where I want to go. Like, you know, like DJs that headline festivals. So it's like, yeah, you can be that DJ that, you know, like just does quinces and weddings and makes a quick little check, like with their little, you know, playlist. Or you can be the DJs that get paid. No,
you want to maximize your potential.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where that's where my DJ.
If they want you in Paris, you go to Paris.
That's what I'm saying. But to get there, it's just like you got to have something special. So it's just like
I seen a video where DJ EJ was DJing in front of the Eiffel Tower
in
Paris, and I'm like, that's got to be the dopest shit ever.
It is dope as fuck. EJ's going a lot of places. I
grew up in a different time in South. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and it was just a very different time.
Did you know DJ Exotic?
Yeah,
that's my uncle.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, I know him very well.
So that's literally my sister's brother. So yeah, so I grew up around a lot of freestyle. I know it is.
One of the coldest.
I feel like it feels like a Southwest legacy. Like when I'm like, yeah, DJ, my uncle's DJ Exotic. You know, because like the old heads will know. Like, okay,
DJ Angel, shout out to my guy, man. He's a legend.
Angel, sweet as fuck.
Rest in peace, DJ Hurricane. You know, these are guys legends. McLove. My cousin DJ damn, what the hell, DJ Illusion.
My cousin DJ damn, what the hell.
Like what's your DJ name?
It's Two Swans. So
Two Swans.
It's pronounced Two Swans, but it's spelled like really weird. Like it's a weird spelling. It's like TEAUXSWANX.
Oh yeah, you gotta write that down.
No, bro, I thought it was cool. You know,
I know when I first came home from the joint and people are like, yeah, this underscore overscore. I'm like, what the hell is an underscore?
Wait.
2 underscores.
What is that?
I'm like, dog, I'm lost. Just write the shit down.
The ones that get me,
text it to me.
The ones that are that like the underscore but multiple times. I just be like, why?
I know.
Why did you do that in your username? Some classic. What are some classic Instagram names for Southwest people? Be like there's Southwest Geo for sure. There's Southwest underscore anything.
Or McGraw.
There's 313 underscore anything.
Or 48209 or 48210.
Or underscore 313 for sure.
Yeah.
Wow, what else? Huh? But El Mexicano. Some stuff like that. I'll be like El Chapo. The people do a lot. That one a lot. They'll be just some random drug lord name.
So you did a tour.
Oh,
with the mariachi.
We're moving to a tour.
And I think that's the dopest shit ever. Can you just share a little bit about that experience?
It was crazy. Like I was explaining. So we were. I was touring with Flor de Toloache 2 years ago, and again, like I grew up self-taught mariachi, right? Just kind of like nobody sat down with me to be like, this is how you do it. You know, it was just literally like me and YouTube videos against the world. Like I was just always watching YouTube, practicing, YouTube, practicing. That was how I learned. So I had met this group when I was 16 that was all women mariachi, and they were from New York, and they allowed me to play a song. I sent a video in. I was like, look at my little solo, you know, like I'm good. They were like, yeah, you know, like you can do a gig with us. And the gig, like playing with them, like being on stage with all women, it was a different energy. Like, because again, I was telling you, I grew up, you know, like in cantinas, quinceañeras, like bodas, like the local mariachi stuff. But being on stage with them, something like energetically, I feel like just clicked, like for me, and I think also for them, because we connected. Years passed, like 16, 17, 18. I had auditioned with them like 2 years before, or to go on tour, but they had chosen somebody else. I was like, okay. 19, 20, 21 comes. And it's so funny. I had just gotten a full-time job. Like literally I was like, and again, I come from a history of like working really oddball stuff, like Amazon midnights, like dispos, like you name it. If it got me paid, I was there. Because again, I was living the artist, you know, struggling artist life. At the time, I don't even think I had a car. I was down bad one time. I was down really bad in that 20 to 21 period. It's just a mess. We were getting all those floods and stuff, like messing people's houses up. Like, oh my God, it was a bad time. Anyways, so in that, like, the spring after the hard time, I got my first full-time job. I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is the route I want to take. Like, 9 to 5, nonprofit life, baby. And then they called me like a week later saying they wanted me to go on tour. And I was just like, this is the story nobody knows. I was like, fuck. Like, I literally just got a full-time job. Now I got to leave. So for me, it was literally this decision of like, all right, am I going to throw myself 100% into this like artist, musician, producer life? Or am I going to like be comfortable and do this 9 to 5? I was literally at a crossroad 2 years ago, and like that's what it felt like. And it was such a hard decision because that stability of that 9 to 5, you know, like nothing hits like it.
Yeah,
especially
for sure. When you
know,
can rely on that check.
Yeah, that biweekly
every
check.
week or every 2 weeks.
You know, like, and
everything's biweekly now. It's terrible.
No, not my job. I get paid once a month.
What?
Yeah.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I'm gonna
I
pray
don't
for
know how
you.
I do. I don't know how I do it
Once
either.
a month. That's a welfare check.
No, it's tough. It's tough. But this is also
no.
the stuff that just comes with this lifestyle. It's like this artist, like teaching artist, entrepreneurial lifestyle. Like there is no bi-weekly security. None. Like whatever you can get, whatever work lands in my lap, that is what pays my bills. Like nothing else but except for whatever I can get. It's literally just grit. And again, this was the crossroad I was at. It's like, do I want to work hard? Like throw a lot of grit, like, you know, like just hustle for the next few years of my life? Or do I want to do this 9 to 5 comfortable, you know, getting a check all the time work? Obviously I went on tour. So it was like, that's the decision I made. And tour itself just really like, it expanded me. It opened my worldview. In Southwest, we're so used to this like bubble, you know, like, you know, to me, getting booked at Blind Pig in Ann Arbor would have been like, oh yeah, like I'm it, you know, like I'm literally like up here, like I'm a star, you know, like that would have been my standard. Like if I had not gone on tour, like I would have literally been like,
where's all the places you toured at?
See, this is where I'm a terrible person because I.
You don't even know where the hell
there was.
At.
I remember the
artist. Hey, hello, Texas. Damn, you're in California. Oh,
there's a tour poster. We were everywhere. We were in San Diego, LA. We were definitely in Austin. I want to say we were in New Mexico. We did the whole thing. We did New York, New Jersey. We did. I'm telling you, we hit up a lot of states, and that's why I'm also like. It was a blur, bro. Like, whether Arizona, if I was in New Mexico, I don't know. I was just like, you know, I'm just kind of like there. But I remember there was a few shows that were sold out, and then a few that were kind of like, you know, like I expected more people.
What happened?
Yeah, it's like 30 people in the church right now. Like, okay, well, we're here. You know, we're playing anyways. And that's also kind of was like the cool experience of tours. Like, you think it's going to be like sold out arenas and buffets every night, right? And you're getting 8 hours of sleep. Like, hell no. like we were in an RV bus. Like I was on the top, like going like this, hoping I wouldn't like fly out the side.
Get out
I would
here.
fall
Oh,
asleep,
shit.
my hand tucked in the mattress of the RV, because I was like, God,
To hold on.
yeah, I'm like, God, please don't let us hit some sort of rock and I fly out and I break a bone. Like, I was so scared. We were in RV, in our, like, literally, like, an RV bus, like, just driving around, touring, like, the States. And until that didn't work out, then we were doing whatever we had to do to get from city to city, because that's what tour is, you know? It's like, it's not, like, I think I had this notion of, like, it's, like, roses and candy and, like, nah, bro, it's
grinding.
yeah, it's grinding,
Yeah,
you know?
for
And on
sure.
top of that, it's throwing a show. Wow, grinding. Like, you might be tired. Like, at one point, I got the most horrifying tour story to ever tell. When we were in New York, we stopped to watch a movie, and in the movie theater, I don't know how, but this is literally like how I think it happened. In the movie theater, a bed bug got onto me. We went back to the tour
Get
bus.
the fuck out of here.
Bro, dirty ass New York.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking hate New York. I don't care if this comes back and haunts me in a later interview,
my
like in a later
goodness.
sequence of my life. I hate New York, except for the club culture. That's kind of cool. See my fist balling right now. So I literally got a bed bug on me when we were touring in New York.
Mhm.
Tell me why that bed bug bit me 8 times in the face that night.
Holy
Not even on my
shit.
body, on my face,
Get
bro.
outta
Like,
here. Looking like you have freckles.
right, like it was not cute. Like it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had so many
Holy
bed bug
shit.
bites, and I was like, next morning when I saw, I was crying, sobbing,
Get
because
outta here.
I was like, bro, I look so ugly.
And
like
makeup couldn't cover it up?
Makeup didn't help at all. Like,
Holy
and I had
shit.
like, I had booked a photographer like for the Chicago show 2 days later. Like, I literally had to take that day, and we only had like 3 hours before a show. I was running all my shit to the dry cleaners, like throwing it in the hot air, like running back to the venue, doing my makeup, like doing the show,
Damn.
like wanting to cry because I look like Rumpelstiltskin. What's his name?
No,
Fuck.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, like it was bad. Like, so that's a tourist story. I guess
Toy Story, okay.
I keep saying Toy Story. Tour story. I can't say that word. Tour. I feel like it's not ending properly. That's why it's coming off as toy. I have a weird accent sometimes. Like if I say the word mare, I've heard that I say that weird.
You funny as hell.
But no, like
You
tour.
could be a comedian too. Shit, fuck it. You might as well do some stand up while you at it.
Nah, that would make me real broke. real broke. Trying to do stand up. Man,
Hell
if I
no.
don't make money, y'all make less.
Yeah. But listen, thank you so much for coming,
you.
for sharing, you know what I'm saying? I had a great time building with you and getting to know you and everything you got going on.
I'm gonna be at the reunion.
Absolutely. I definitely look forward to networking, building with you. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay.
love to see you do what you do. Shout out to Raquel Soledad.
Shout out.
She's doing her thing as well. And, you know, just everybody, man, that's from the neighborhood and just, you know, being creative.
Shout out
and,
Victorino.
Man, that's
Because he's
my
always
man.
shouting everybody out. I have
That's
to
my
shout him
guy.
out right
Yup,
now.
yup,
Literally, I
for
almost
sure.
forgot. In the last minute, I thought about it.
Yup.
Victorino, you're that guy.
He's very talented.
Hell
I
yeah.
just knew he'd have made it by now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure he made it in his own way, but
Right.
like I said, man, you guys are that good where I feel like you guys should be. You know what I'm saying?
It's this generation, too. This generation of artists is crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, I love it because I see more supporting one another than not. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And it's funny because we all went to school and stuff together. Like, we've all, like, gone to the same middle schools or elementary schools, you know? Like just casually seeing artists that I've even if I didn't know at the time, like, I've been seeing around since I was 7, 8 years old, you know? That's cool, too, to me about, like, this new generation of, like, Southwest Detroit artists. Is just like we've low-key like already been in spaces and circles for a long time, but now it's just like it kind of popped up what everybody was trying to, you know, like pursue and trying to do. Now we're just kind of watching each other like
That's
what's up.
sweet. No,
Yeah.
that's really dope. You know, me growing up in Southwest, like we couldn't wait to pick the gang we was going to join.
No, that is funny.
You know, what
Yeah,
I'm
y'all
saying?
asses
Like,
were having kids at
that was
17,
good
16.
shit. 13,
Man,
14, 15, I swear.
Y'all
we was bad.
Y'all were messed up.
We was bad, you know what I'm
messed
saying? I mean, we were just products of our environment.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
But I'm glad that, you know, to see my community doing so much better and doing so much more.
Plus,
and
those are
thriving.
also those are all the parents too of the new generation of artists. Like, you know, like everybody that was struggling in Southwest in the '90s, like ended up having amazing young adults. You know, like as people, like my parents were teen parents. Like got pregnant at 17, 19 at Western. You know, and like nobody like would ever like, you know, like think that, you know, because it's just like, oh, you know, like that it's not as common anymore. But that was a thing. Like
they see where you're at, but they don't know where you've been through to
You
get
know?
to where you're at today, you know? And that's why my new merch, damn, grab me a shirt, man. I gotta display my shirt.
that slide, that transition was crazy.
Yeah. A hoodie,
Bro,
something.
that transition was so great.
Yeah, I was supposed to been had my shit. I gotta promote my own shit, that's for sure.
He's like, yeah, everybody in Southwest is like fucked up, you know, and that's why I got my new merch.
Yeah. So listen, check me out. I got a bunch of new merch in. I got t-shirts, I got hoodies, $40 hoodies, $20 t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm always big flexing, letting them know, showing strength all the time.
The turquoise one is sweet too.
And then we got the ones with the back that says "Walk a mile in my shoes," you know, and you know that's the truth, because my whole concept of creating this platform was to break down barriers of, you know, racism, prejudice, biasness, all these, you know, people are always judging people without knowing who they are and what they've been through, you know what I'm saying? So I tell people all the time, you can say what you want to say, but you got to be able to walk a mile in my shoes before you judge me, you know what I'm saying? So the name of the show, Real Everyday People, El Nino Podcast. I got multiple colors, sizes, but it's all limited, so hit me up, you know what I'm saying? Let me know.
How much are you selling them for?
So my hoodies are $40 and my t-shirts are $20, and you know, they're double-sided, and you know, this is kind of one of my signature, you know, every picture I take, you know, I got to show strength, you know what I mean? So, you know, holla at your boy. August 9th, we're having a Stop the Violence event at the DHDC at 1211 Trumbull. Open for the community. We'll have free hot dogs, hamburgers, things like that. But we're going to have, you know, performers, dunk tank, bouncy house for the kids. You know, it's gonna be a good time, so, you know, make sure you come through. For the Downriver community, we're having an expungement fair on September 21st at Team Wellness over there on Dix and Southgate. So, you know, look out for those flyers and them posters. You know, I just suggest and recommend that you take advantage of the opportunity. If you have some felonies that are old, 7 years old, and can be expunged, you know, you come through and get a free opportunity to clear your record and get a fresh start, you know, and enhance the quality of life for yourself. Open up doors of opportunity where you're not, you know, now you can qualify for housing. Now you can qualify for a certain job or a position that you want because you got the felony off your record. Usually you would pay $2,500 to $3,000 for an attorney to do this to you. And I ain't knocking a hustle, but, you know, me, I'm trying to, you know, provide resources for the community so that we can grow. So, you know, take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? And again, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Camilla Cantu, she's a beast, and you're going to hear her music anywhere and everywhere. Let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, so y'all can follow me. My personal page is at Camilla Cantu. That's CamilllaCantu. But my DJing page is at Two Swans, which is it's a long ass name. TEAUXSWANX, and that's usually where I post more of like my like music DJ stuff, because it's hard, like, you know, I don't want to promote like mariachi stuff on my DJ page, like that don't really got a place there. And, you know, like music promo can kind of be, I post different stuff on different pages.
So what are your prices like? What's the average price
Expensive.
for DJing event?
Yeah,
you got me clear my throat, shit.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just being dramatic. No, for DJing, I charge $75 per hour.
Okay.
If you need like sound, like if you need me to bring sound, I'll just do a flat fee of like $150. I try to stay affordable, you know, because I know the people that I'm working with, and
that's very affordable.
You know,
it's very fair.
And I work a lot with like nonprofits and stuff, and, you know, they don't always got the biggest budgets to be given, so I try to stay affordable, but the prices are going up.
And what about
to
the
100 pretty
mariachi?
soon. Oh, well, the mariachi right now, I think we're at 700 for the hour.
Okay.
But we're 7 people. So, which is...
so you're going to get your money's worth.
Yep, it's a pretty big mariachi especially for like the standard that Detroit has, which is usually like 4 to 5 guys just showing up. For mariachis, no shade to grupos. I love grupos. Just for mariachis, like 4 or 5 people will show up. You know, my bandmate was just telling me that the manager from another group sent her on a 4-hour gig with one other person. So sometimes you might pay for 4 hours of mariachi and get 2 people if you're not working with us.
I've done it. I've done it. They gypped me, but whatever.
It happens.
I feel like I filled in the spot.
I'm done singing and stuff. It happens. No,
yeah.
it's like that because again, like you're just trying to. My group is like we mostly all play just together, versus like mariachis and other groups. They're just calling, seeing who will fit the bill, who will play and show. So we charge $700 for the hour for that. And for performing, it's honestly about the same. Like if you want me to come do like a live show, like bring a band and stuff, it's like $700. But if it's just like little stuff, like I have a very workable budget for my music stuff. Like like 100, 275. It's like I kind of work off of what people are trying to pay or what they can pay.
Okay.
But at the same time, making sure it's not so. I've done a lot of free gigs. Like I've done a lot of free stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was doing a lot of like free stuff in my youth. So definitely don't do free gigs anymore. But I work with budgets. If people wanted me to like come out,
That's
yeah,
right. Yeah, you can respect that for sure. So tap in. She's a beast. You know what I'm saying? It's money well spent. You know what I'm saying? Time well spent. And tap in every